Hey guys. Welcome to today's or tonight, this evening's strategy session. I'm coming to you live from Australia, so it's Wednesday morning for me, but I know it's Tuesday night in the US, so we're just going to give some people some time to jump on. So we usually say drop us a comment in the Q&A and let us know where you're tuning in from, but what we want to know tonight is your level of excitement for tonight's announcement. We've been working really hard on tonight's announcement. I'm so glad that all of you have put in the effort to join us. So drop us a comment and let us know how excited you are, where you're tuning in from. We'll give everyone another minute or two before we kick off. We've got a star-studded panel joining us tonight as well, and it's going to be an amazing call. So let me jump into the Q&A here. Hi Mike, hi Vietnam, hi Beverly. Drop us a comment. Excellent. There's some excitement coming in there. Hey Hales, Marilyn, Ken, Mike, welcome. Okay, guys, well, we're 2 minutes past the hour, so I know you are all eagerly awaiting tonight's announcement. So I guess, a big welcome to today's strategy or tonight's strategy session, and a big welcome to what I can confidently say is probably one of the most important calls we've ever run at Shopley. Now, I never thought I would say that based off just kicking off the platform a mere month ago, but we have an incredibly big announcement for you tonight. So you will have now all seen the emails about the big announcement. And tonight isn't just an announcement. Tonight is going to be a moment. It's going to be a moment for our platform. It's going to be a moment for each and every one of you, and it's going to be a moment for the future of Shopley, because we all know that we are a brand new e-commerce platform and we only get one chance at our very first Black Friday, Cyber Monday event. So we have chosen to go large, to go loud. The Black Friday, Cyber Monday period is where e-commerce platforms see their biggest growth spike of the entire year. So for a lot of you merchants out there, I know that you have been working year on year in organization for this particular period, because some of the growth stats on stores are absolutely incredible. If we look at some of the Shopify merchants as a whole have seen 30% growth year on year, which is incredible. And if we look at some of the big commerce merchants, they have seen 76% growth on overall sales when compared last Black Friday to the Friday before. So you think about that number, 76% growth on overall sales is incredible. And TikTok Shop itself, their creator signups doubled during last year's Black Friday, Cyber Monday event. So each and every one of you out there will have been seeing all those other brands out there sending out their emails, kicking their Black Friday, Cyber Monday campaigns off early. I know for me personally, in the last 2 weeks, I've done all of my Christmas shopping for the kids on Black Friday sales. So what we see during this period is people are primed to buy. Traffic is high, engagement skyrockets. So for influencers and affiliates out there, this is a customer acquisition dream period for you, and the highest engagement content window you'll ever get all year for those people out there that, are creating content. For our influencers, influencer pros, and our merchant developers, this promo is going to remove any friction point that you have been coming up again. And for our merchants out there, you are going to have eyes on your products probably more than you've had all year. So tonight we wanted to take the opportunity to walk you through the full Black Friday, Cyber Monday promo, how it works, and exactly how to maximize it for the growth of your community. Are we ready for that?
Yay! I'm so
Excellent.
excited.
Stace, we have Stace joining us tonight. Stacey, you've all seen her on the calls. She's been working incredibly hard behind the scenes to get this pulled together. And we've been talking about it now for quite some time, and We've had some very early morning calls, some very late night calls, and we are incredibly excited about the promo. So, Stace, I think let's dive in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's been really a group effort. Everyone behind the scenes, because we have so many different aspects to us as a platform. It's where do you actually hone in and what do you focus on if we were to offer a Black Friday, Cyber Monday, kind of an offering or a promo. And it's one of those things. It's like, well, the all of the merchants and the vendors are already doing theirs, so that really doesn't make sense for us to focus there. Does it make sense for us to focus over here? Does it make sense for us to focus on merchant acquisition? Well, that's not really the focus of this time right now. And so the reason we settled on what we did was because it's about bringing the people to the platform that have seen the vision, that have been excited about it, but just haven't maybe pulled the trigger yet. And so it's let's incentivize those people to finally go ahead and say, okay, talk to me, let me go. I've got this holiday season. I've got a little bit of time off. I have the time that I can now sit and listen to you. Or they've heard all the pitches and they just need a reason to push checkout and yes on the button. And so that's kind of what compelled us and the reason we settled where we did. And it's been a like Rachel said, kind of an all hands on deck, trying to figure out all the different pieces. Because anytime you change a portion of the platform, it involves coding and it involves multiple, this domino effect of things that have to kind of take place. And so we think that we've figured out all the different pieces, and this is where we've kind of landed. Anything else you want to say, Rachel, before I move to the actual promo itself on the next?
No, I think Stacey, you really hit the nail on the head there that, we've really sat back and thought about, what we can do to help each and every one of you out there that, have seen the vision and just have not pulled the trigger yet. And I really think this announcement is going to change that for you.
Yeah, so think of this as not so much a Cyber Monday, Black Friday for you as a shopper, but more of as an early Christmas for you to get your business going and a jump start for you to kind of get your business going. And so for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, what Shoply's doing is we are slashing the prices of the merchant developer, the influencer, and the influencer pro enrollment packages. And what that means is all three of those will now be the same price of $99 as a one-time license and enrollment package. For the influencer and influencer pro, it will not include the $300 promoter pack because of that price point. But what that means is you're getting all of the value that the merchant developer gets, the influencer and the influencer pro, for an incredibly, incredibly low platform first one-time fee to come onto the platform. All of the value still stays. Everything that you would have ordinarily gotten at that higher price point will remain the same. You're getting a business for a very, very low point of entry, which means that if you have anyone that you've talked to before that was interested, but maybe just couldn't figure out the funds to be able to start this, they now have the ability to be able to do that. And so this is going to give you guys an amazing jump start into the holiday season. As we continue to get merchants onto our platform, you'll now be able to bring business builders, team builders, and then as a byproduct, the affiliates and the customers that come with them as we really move into the next biggest buying season, which is going to be Christmas. And so this is a fantastic way for you to get a jump start in your business moving into 2026 as well. So I'll stop there and kick it back over to either Rachel, Mike, Craig. I know we've got a couple different people on as well. Anything that you guys want to weigh in here and talk about really quick before we go on to the next thing?
Yeah, I think, look, let's throw it to the panel because Stace, we've made it very clear about our excitement, but Craig and maybe Mike after Craig, I'd love to know because this is obviously the first time you guys are hearing this as well. So I'd love to know your thoughts and how you see this going for essentially your business and everything that you've got going out there in the Shoply world.
Yeah, look, I think Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I think statistically I read in some report that 25% of ecom brands that they need to nail this period because it's 25% of their revenue for the year. That was
Yeah.
something that I read earlier, and because we're playing in the whole e-commerce world, e-commerce place now, like I saw Zoom had a promo for 90 days and all sorts of different SaaS platforms, which we are. So just to be positioned in there. But I think from myself, it's a good time to go back to everyone I've ever spoken to and say, hey, Shoply's launched. I want to show you the platform. We haven't had a chance to catch up since we went live. I'd like to jump on a Zoom and do a demo to show you exactly how good the platform looks, the functionality of the platform, but I guess now we have a small window for you to be able to even launch a business for a fraction of the cost. So that's sort of one part of my game plan for the next 4 to 5 days, into Cyber Monday. Um, but also, really focus on conversations. So, one of the things that I always do anyway, and I have my tool, which I'm happy to do a demonstration with on another call if Rachel wanted to organize that this week. My Dream List Finder platform, I go onto there and basically find any person that I want to find and I just do outreach. So for me, I'm just gonna do as many outreaches to fitness professionals and my pitch to the fitness professionals are you have influence over audience. We have the perfect software for you to generate an extra revenue stream. And that's really how I open the conversation. I say, we've got an exciting promo now. It's $99 to launch another revenue stream in your business. And just keep it really simple outreach messages. And that's just to the fitness industry. Then I go over to the podcast industry and say, hey, you've got a podcast. You've got influence over audience. We've got the perfect software for you to generate a new revenue stream. I'd love to jump on a call and demo it with you. But right now in Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we've got up to 90% off the actual license fee. So it's these piquing interest, curiosity, outreach things, and you might have to do 100 of those to get like 3 or 4 responses. But that's really what the whole numbers game is. I think I actually sent it to Rachel the other day. One of the guys that I follow online, he said, "You won't build a good business until you've done 10,000 pitches." But everyone wants to build $1 million business with 10 pitches. So if you sort of like think of it like that, the more seeds that you can plant in the ground, the more conversations that you can have, the more conversations lead to opportunities, more pitches, that is, and more pitches lead to more sales. Now we have lowered, or Shoply has lowered the barrier of entry to something that shouldn't even be an objection because it's 90% off. You have a short window to come on board, and because we have this sale or Shoply has this sale, doesn't mean business will just grow because of the sales on. It really does require an individual to say, hey, it's now or never for me. I'm going to get 4, 5, 6, 7 new people started through this period because they did want to start, but for whatever reasons, they didn't have the capital. It wasn't the right time. But this is a double shot because you can showcase the new software that we launched basically 4 weeks ago. And also now you can come on for 90% off. So that's sort of my approach to it. There's no magic pill, magic formula there. It's really conversation and and I guess the big thing is belief. You say, hey, I think this software could reach everyone in the world because with the Shopify platform, they are in 175 markets. If you go onto ChatGPT in any of those markets and just put in how many Shopify stores on there, 5 million worldwide, collectively out of the 175 markets, 6 billion people, we should have our platform in all corners of the globe. and it works tremendously well now. And now we have a phenomenal offer for you to be able to turbocharge your business. So hopefully you capitalize on that. I certainly, as soon as I get off here, I actually did do a round of calls for demos. All of those people are all very interested, but now I'm going to go back to them and say, we've done the demo. Uh, didn't know that this was going to happen, but there's a no-brainer opportunity for you to start your business now. So, and there's a few people that, for whatever reason, I know they're not available over the next 2 weeks. I'm just going to say join now, and then let's talk about the business when you get back into the swing of things because it's 90% off, So, yeah, nothing to lose.
Absolutely agree. And I think Craig, your point there on timing, is really important because if you think back to we only kicked open the doors to a new platform 4 weeks ago. So all those guest accounts that you had in the system that you haven't had a chance to go back to and demo, you've now got the opportunity to demo and talk to them about this promo. And I think that is really powerful. Mike, tell us your thoughts.
I'll be real quick, because I agree 100% with what you guys are saying. I think that only thing I would add is that about this time of year, when everyone starts settling down or settling into the holiday season, so to speak, is really when they have some time to reflect about last year or this year, and then they start making plans for next year. And so, what a great way to get a jump start to communicate and reach out to some of those folks about what a great opportunity right in the hot spot of the season for shopping and sales anyway. So when you can provide that kind of information on Shoply, what it is we're doing, moving in not just into the Black Friday and moving beyond, but what that means for them. Like I said, taking that 90% off, and then planning and building something for the coming year. So it really kind of gets, I think the timing is perfect. I mean, the price is perfect, the timing is perfect, the platform is ready, it's ripe and ready to go. And so, I mean, I think it's just a matter, it's an easy door opener for everyone that's out there to reach out to everybody you know.
I absolutely agree, Mike. I couldn't have said that better myself. And I think, for a lot of people who are out there and still not sure, it can be as simple as just start with a purchase. Just get out there, buy that product, share that link, do do your live, get that content out there because this isn't just designed for business builders. This is going to bring more shoppers, more traffic, higher conversion rates, and it's going to benefit each and every, whether you want to be an affiliate, whether you want to just be the merchant developer and B2B, whether you're just an influencer who wants to share the link to your thousands of followers and earn that way. This promo isn't just for the business builders, it's for each and every one of you as well, because it's just priming the platform to have more conversion, more sales, etc., etc. Now, Stace, I know we've got some further details on the promo. We'll get that PowerPoint brought back up. But guys, let us know what your thoughts in the Q&A. I'd love to hear from you all as we're stepping through this. So I guess, Stace, from here, what's our next steps for each and every one of for everyone out there watching?
Yeah, so now that you guys know kind of what we're doing and the nuts and bolts of what it looks like, let's talk quickly just about how do you get somebody enrolled? If you haven't walked them through this process in the new system, what we've done is it will go live within the next 24 to 48 hours. Like we said, the tech team is doing all the different coding and readjusting everything for all of the countries that we're available in and making sure that everything works correctly. And so once they're live, what you'll see, and the best way for you guys to know if it's live or not, is you'll see the logo on the go.shoply.com will switch to the logo that you see on your screen. And that's how you know that the Black Friday promo is live and ready to go. If you get here before that, that's okay. We don't want to stop anybody from walking through the process. And so what you'll do is you're going to share your go.shoply.com/your referral ID. So remember, that's your actual ID that you have either set yourself or it's a series of numbers and letters, you'll be able to find that in your dashboard. So when you go to go.shoply.com and you hit login, once you get to your dashboard, you'll see your actual referral ID to be able to share from there. And then you're just going to direct your people from that link to watch the short video on the phone that's in the second kind of little section of that video. If they continue to scroll a little bit further down the page, they can complete the survey. If they don't know where they land, if you've already had conversations with people and they're like, I know I'm an influencer pro, or I know I'm excited about getting merchants and vendors and brands, and I'm a B2B type person, then that's okay. Then they can kind of just click pass through the survey. That's just there to meant to be a tool to help people if they're not sure where they land. If they're sure, just tell them to go ahead and exit out of there. They'll go to the bottom of the screen and they'll fill in just kind of the required contact information, register their account, and then they're up and running. If they have taken a guest account before at some point, they would just log in at the top left button, that orange button, and then they're going to hit actually upgrade when they get to that point. If this has not switched over and there is no Black Friday, Cyber Monday logo, they still can go through the exact same process. And what they'll do is they'll go to the next screen, which will be the enrollment dashboard. Once they get there, they can watch the top video and the bottom video, which is a snapshot and then a brief overview of what they're looking at. And then they'll just pick their package. If we have not switched over to the Black Friday Cyber Monday promo yet, have them stop at step 5. They'll just create their guest account and they won't actually enroll and check out. Once it switches over, and we'll notify you guys via Instagram, we'll notify you guys via Telegram, through email, we'll let you know as many of the different locations that we can that we're live. They'll go back to go.shoply.com. They'll log in and then they'll just hit upgrade. And so it's a very easy process. So no matter what happens, if they're ready to go, have them walk through all of the registration. They'll either stop at step 5 or they'll continue to step 6. And what will happen is they'll choose whichever of the little drop downs they want. And then they'll hit checkout and you'll see the price will either be reduced down to 99, or if it's not ready, it'll still say the original pricing there. So it's a very, very easy process. That's the same process that we've been doing if you've been enrolling people. It's just been recoded so that it shows the sales price and the promo price on there for us. And the clue will be the logo change on the masthead on go.shoply. So I'll stop there. Rachel, if there's anything else that I forgot or you want to add in, please jump in.
No, I think you've explained it really well there. But yeah, I think the key is let's not wait. We've got everything going on as quickly as possible. We've got the tech team working around the clock. I'm sure they dislike Stacey and I very much right now, but they are doing everything they can. And as Stacey said, we'll send it out in Telegram. We'll send out the announcement emails. We'll put it all over our socials as soon as it's ready. But I think the important thing is getting out there and having those conversations now. I'm just checking the Q&A here, and where messages are going out already about how incredible it is, how excited they are. People are organizing calls already. Mike, I know you're saying you've texted 3 people and organized calls and merchant developers. So that is what you need to do, guys. You need to get out there. You need to start messaging your communities tonight, talking to your merchants and getting out there and posting your content. Don't wait. This is coming. This will be ready tomorrow. And yeah, we are incredibly excited. So Craig, Mike, closing comments.
Yeah, look, I think just in the time of the year as well, like it's Christmas shopping time of the year. It is Black Friday time of the year and that as well. So you launch your business, $99, whatever option that you want to choose, and then go on and start touring around and shopping. And, I sort of always think about, building a platform like this, it takes time. And 10 people turn to 100, 100 people turn to 1,000, 1,000 people add another 100 brands for everyone. So it sort of all feeds itself. It's all perpetual cycles and no different to building any business. It's one step at a time, sometimes two steps forward, one step back, three steps forward, four steps back. That's business life. That's sort of what happens. Now we have a good opportunity to do two steps forward leading into Christmas. So not only um, launch your business for $99. Try and bring on your first three people for the $99 promotion as well. Help get your first vendor on board. $1 trial for 90 days. And once you get your first vendor on board, you go, gee, that was simple. I just shared, are you interested in getting a new channel for your audience to get some more sales? It takes 5 minutes to get on board. I'll walk you through that, and then we'll help launch your business as well. I'm actually in Australia this week. I've got a live event. It's called a Shopley Showcase event. I've actually got 8 vendors that I've brought onto the platform have all donated a product package each, which they're sitting behind me, some of them there now. And I'm doing a social gathering for my community, and I've got 40 odd people come in. And I just said, I just want to share with you my new shopping platform that I've been working on for a couple of years. We've gone live now, and everyone that attends will go into the draw to win a gift pack. All the vendors were really warm to the idea of this is another way to get exposure to 40 to 50 new people. So you can be innovative. I say to personal trainers, build your own product suite. So go and find 10 brands yourself to be able to promote within your community and your fitness community. So Shoply as a software has so many different dimensions. But I guess the most important thing is people getting started and then doing the activities to build their own business.
I would like to say and piggyback off that because you there was one word, Craig, that you mentioned, which was exposure. And we're all affiliates, we're all representatives, we're all independent business owners leveraging and using Shoply as our business. It's our business. It's not Shoply, it's our business. And our product is the platform. So you got to use it, right? So if you've ever heard people say you'll be a product of the product if you own the product, well, let's do that. But the platform is the product here. And exposure is the name of the game. And it's not something that we do independently, all by ourselves, because in order to make this thing grow the way we know it can grow, and we'll have much different discussions this time next year, is if we all go and increase massive exposure onto the platform that we all reside on. We all share. So if you go crush it, I go crush it, Stacy's going out there, everyone's exposing, Rachel's out there exposing, that builds everything. So for everyone. Right? So everyone rises if we all go and increase our exposure onto the platform. What does that mean, though? You might be saying, what does that mean, exposure? Guys, don't overthink this. This is a simple concept, right? So I'm a business owner, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there. I'm probably going to find a product out there that I like, right? And I'm going to purchase it. Why am I going to do that? Well, because if I feed the marketplace is going to feed me back as a business. The other thing it's doing indirectly is it's setting a precedent for because everyone's watching. If I'm out there and I purchase something and then I post about what I'm purchasing or talking about what I'm purchasing or what I'm doing, that is my business. And on social media, everyone's watching that. So I'm not telling people what to do. I'm showing people through my example what it is that I do. And so if they see that it's very simple, most likely they'll ask you about it. Now, like Craig said earlier, we have the advantage now of going into the biggest shopping season in the world. So leverage that, guys. Use that. Your product is the platform, and you must increase your exposure if you want to increase your business. So first thing I would do is I would get my shopping list out, and I'd start thinking about, all right, I'm going to log into Shoply right now, and I'm going to go think of all the people that I usually buy for, and I'm going to think about who likes fitness, who likes coffee, who likes clothing, who likes jewelry, who likes bags, who likes music, who likes whatever, you name it. I'm going to find something that makes sense and I'm going to purchase it from there if I would usually do that anyway. Why would I not do that It's my business, it's my exposure. And so what I want to do is I want to show people through what I'm doing in order for them to, because that's the best door opener to any conversation you're going to have. How did you do that? What did you do? Then the indirect thing is, if you're doing that anyway, you're getting paid commissions and cash back based on those purchases yourself anyway. Why would you not do that? So think about somebody that says, hey, that looks interesting. How do I do that? Well, you can take 90% off of that price, do what I'm doing, and just the cash back and commissions you'll get based on doing that pays for it alone. So, guys, it's exposure. Now, the other thing is small wins. The last thing I'm talking about. In order to build a big business, you don't have to crush this whole thing in 24 hours. Let's get some small base hits, right? So find something you really love, and or if you're talking to family members, ask them what they like, or if they want to go shopping, say, here, I want you to go try this link first. Get some purchases under your belt, not just your own purchases. That's great. You need to do that. But let's go find a couple people that go because you referred them to a product that they purchased something. Or you might want to say, hey, have you done your Christmas shopping yet? Have you been waiting for Black Friday to hit before you really do your spending? Yes, I've been waiting. Have you thought about this? Right? This is your business. Give them the option to buy from your platform, your business, as opposed to going to Amazon or some other Black Friday sale. And if you want to bring a merchant in, think about this. We're a culmination of a community of people that shop local. I know it sounds weird, but you have to think about it that way. We are a family of merchants. We're a family. We're a community of people that all together work together to make the entire business rise. So if we're encouraging everybody that we know to shop from our family of merchants, guess who's going to be happy? Our family of merchants. If our family of merchants is happy, guess what's going to happen to all the merchants' customers? They're all going to want to kind of start coming onto Shoply as well. See, everything feeds one another. So keep it simple, expose your like crazy to build your own personal business, and make sure you get some small wins, get those base hits, and just keep repeating it over the busiest season of the year. So I appreciate you guys. Let's go out there and get it done.
Could not have said it better myself, Mike. Knocked it out of the park. Stace, what about you?
No, you guys, I think we sometimes, as humans, we tend to overcomplicate things sometimes. And we tend to want to over-explain, and we tend to want to tell them everything that's going on. And there is always a time and a place for that. And there's always people that want information. But at the same time, with the lower friction and the lower barrier of entry, you only have to give people enough value for them to say yes to $99. Right? If you're building the value for a business that's $100,000, you have to offer them a pretty big upside, a pretty big value for them to say, yes, I'm going to pay you $100,000 for a business. Less value for $1,000 business, less value for a $500 business, less value for them to say yes to 99. So what you're doing is giving them enough information, enough value, and enough excitement to compel them to say yes to $99. That's all you're doing. And once they've said, hey, yeah, that sounds good, stop talking. Don't say anything more. Don't talk them out of doing it for any particular reason. Say, perfect. This is what you're going to do. And then you go help them find someone else as well. And think of it this way. How much could your business grow if the 3 people you get in come in the next couple of days and you help them get their 3, and then you help them get their 3? The problem is if you wait to talk to people, you're only waiting and potentially closing the gap of when you can get that duplication to start to occur. Because if and when this promo starts to conclude, if you haven't talked to people until the last couple of days, then they won't have time to talk to people either. So it's very important that you start talking to people now. I would go back and talk to the people that you've talked to before, that you've already pre-exposed them to Shoply at some point, and there was some objection. Who knows what that was? Maybe it was not the right time in their life. Maybe it was a money issue. Maybe it was a vision issue. There could be a whole myriad of different reasons. But those are the people that you want to go and talk to first, especially if someone has told you they can't afford it at that moment. This would be those people that would be the first at the top of the list of who you speak to first. And then keep going down, because you have no drawbacks or no negative downside for conversations that you're starting during this period. Even if they don't say no, yes now, they might say yes in a couple of weeks. Yes, the promo may be over. However, if they still like the idea and fall in love with the idea of building a business through Shoply, then they may still say yes later. So start those conversations because they can only have upside for you regardless of when they potentially come in. So the action is the most important thing for you guys to do coming out of this call is to start talking to all of the people that you know that would be interested in potentially joining. So with that, I'll kick it back to you, Rachel.
Look, I couldn't agree more. Overthinking, don't wait, don't sit on the sidelines. It's all been discussed. But I think one of the things that I really wanted to touch on to close off is we talk about Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's a lot of platforms out there. We talked about the stats, we've talked about the growth, but what I find really powerful is we have something that none of those other platforms have. We have a field-driven social commerce engine that brings the people, brings the customers, brings the creators, and brings the merchants to one place. And that is why we have the power. And I think each and every one of you out there are the pioneers of this. So let's go. Let's get out there and have those conversations, start purchasing, start posting, and let's get this moving. So, a pleasure to have you guys with us tonight. Thank you very much. We will put the replay link, we'll communicate this all out. Stay tuned and happy shopping and happy enrolling. Thanks, guys.
Bye.